changes and updates and improvements to the MarketEdge. So about half of today is just going to be taking a look at some of these great things and what we can do with them. So what we're going to do is log into the MarketEdge, and just once again, I just love to remind everyone, these icons that make absolutely no sense on the left-hand side of the screen here, if you click on the horizontal white lines, you can read what they are. And what we've done is we've just gone into the MarketEdge platform that has the investment analysis, the lease analysis, and the deal room. So let's start off, as I said, in the investment analysis, and we come to our home page. And some of this might be a little bit of a reminder, but I just want to highlight a couple of awesome things here. We do not have still the ability to archive any of your properties here. And I know a lot of you guys have been wanting to put in a feature to archive. What we've done is we've gone ahead and we've made them filterable. So for here, what I'm able to do is now see all of my active. I have 8 active accounts. I could also go ahead and pull out just my active multifamily, 4 of them. So it's not the archive like you were all asking for possibly, but it gives you the ability to narrow down and to see the properties that you want to work with. We also can do it, you know, by the name of it, the address, so on and so forth. So that's the first thing. We also have the ability not only to do it in the tile, or I'm sorry, in the icons, but in the tiles. And we can do it by map, which will map out all of our properties. So just a real neat way to see the different properties. And clicking on any of that will bring it into it. So let's get back here to the home page of the MarketEdge. And let's go to the Plaza Shopping Center. Once again, we have these icons on the bottom if you want to go to the Proposal tab or the MarketEdge, the analysis. You can just click on those, or you can just click on the name here and it'll take us right in there. So the first thing we're all going to notice here is we have a redesign of the page here, and we have 3 additional, well, we have the photo up top, but we also have the ability to create a deal room and then see information from the deal room that would be populated here if we had a deal tied and a map down here. So for those of you that have the CRM, that information, if it's coming from a property or within your CRM, within the core CRM, you can create a deal room from a project, and you will tie it into the investment analysis if there is an investment analysis tied in here. And from here, you can just go directly to the deal room. So that's not a whole lot, but I did just want to point that out to you. The tabs are all the same. We've renamed the last one the output from the proposal tab. And this is where most of the changes are going to be visible. The vast majority of the updates and upgrades to the investment analysis have been in the presentation, the marketing. So what you'll see here is the old standard tried and true investment analysis cover page, and I don't think I can get that any bigger here. Well, that's okay. The cover page with our photos and our bullet points. So the first thing that we've done is we've gone ahead and okay, so I got Kelvin says he can't hear me. I'm not getting any other things. Hey, Dave or Butch, can either one of you go ahead and just verify for me that you can hear me? Your screen is only seeing half. Huh. Right, that would be the lower half here. That's it's kind of a limitation of the of the screen, I believe. So okay, so I'm getting a good being able to hear me. Excellent. Yeah, we have this top part here. You know, we have this, we have the red border, we have the tabs, we have this. So the actual screen of the output is a little bit small. And as far as going full view, I don't, let's see here. Maybe that helps at all. All right, Calvin, I did that. Thank you. All right. Now I know who to call when I have a customer support question on full view. All right, so we are good to go here now. So this is the what you guys are all used to looking at. So the first thing we've done is from the edit page. So whenever we're on a sheet, if we have the ability to change anything, we can click on the edit page, and you'll see the first thing here is that we have a number of different different cover pages. There used to be like 6, and now we have, I think, like about 15. So let's just go ahead and change it to full page and put in here, say, add your title. And let's go ahead, and you'll see the first major change here is an awesome full page cover sheet. And I misspelled title there, but you guys all get the point. So we have the ability to select any number of different layouts. So we have one page, one photo with a highlights. We have, let's see, what are some of the other ones here? We've gone ahead, we've included some mapping that would be included in there. Takes the map with the for sale. And then we've added just a number of different ones. Half of it was adding more photo space layout, and the other part was going on and allowing you to add in more of the alternate context. So once again, if we wanted to add an alternate context, it's on a option. We select the alternate context that we want. We go ahead, we can save them, and they will appear if we have the alternate contact check marked. So I check marked the alternate contact, and now you can see I have the 3 alternate contacts in here. So this is another beautiful layout. We've, to tell you the truth, I haven't seen each and every one of these because there are so many of them. But they all work basically the same way in that if you have, you see this is a 3 photo, so we have 3 photo areas that we can put in photos. If we do just the 1 photo, that changes to just 1 layout. So all the tabs, all the input is all respect to what it is that we're doing. So it removes a huge amount of the confusion where you would put in 3 photos but only 1 would display, and that's because it's just a 1 photo display. So let's come back here to the full photo because I really like that. So we have our full photo. We have now the options to on the photos. Once again, we could I want to change the title. I didn't like that being misspelled. And let's go ahead, and the second option that we've had is in our templates. It gives you the ability to save a predefined order of reports. So here I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull up some of my reports. I've got one here that says property financials, and you'll see once I select this over here on the left hand side where the reports generating this report are, when I click load, they all populate here. So this is a predefined order of reports that I've had, and it just populates. So if you have the same type of order that you like, you don't have to go through and recreate it all the time. You can just save your reports. And just very briefly, let me go down here and say this to our cash flow report here. So now the second major change that we've had in addition to the cover sheets is the ability for you to go ahead and set your own colors. And for that though, let me go ahead and remind those of you who have not set up your companies yet, up here from my account settings, you can go ahead and you can set your company. Now, let me see if I have here for those of you who do not have have never set up your account, you might come to this screen, might come up. This would be the screen if this was the first time that you were coming in here. It would tell you that you can go ahead and you can add your company. So for the overwhelming vast majority of you who have not set up a company, you can go ahead and just click on add company and it will generate a company. For those of you that are part of a company set up already, you may not have the ability to change the company information. That may be for the company administrator itself. So once you go ahead and you set it up, you would simply go ahead and set up your logo, add in your logo, add in your company information. And there's one thing that we need to see on the logo here is that say if I go ahead and put in a logo, didn't take my logo. Okay, let's try another one here. I don't know, let's try the Adams logo. That's the one I wanted. So let's try ahead. I don't know why that's not doing it. Let me try a different one. Let's try the DTZ. So now it's not going to allow me to save it. So let's see what's happened here. There we go. We got the DTZ. Now, most of your logos are probably going to be in a JPEG format. So let me just make this bigger. And you'll see it'll go ahead and it'll put the logo in there for you. And on all of the pages that are on there, it'll put the logo as well. So let's just take a quick look here and let me show you what I wanted to show you is that we've added the logo. We can go ahead and we can include, in addition to the logo, we can go ahead and put in the company information, the company name, address, so on and so forth. What I really wanted to show, though, was that we have the ability to set a company branding of the report colors, the headers, the footers, the table headers, and the alternate rows. And the way we do this is we just go ahead and we select the little drop-down, click on the little box, and we pick the color that we want from the side. So for here, just go ahead, select the color, and it's selected. So this would be the report color of the words. The header and the footer will be just as they are for all the individual pages. And typically what I like to do on these is keep the same header and footer just to begin with. So let's just go ahead and, mind you, I'm just putting these in rather quickly, so they're gonna need some tweaking a little bit later on. But let's go ahead and just go for there now. Now, once again, this is on the account settings, so these will be the default for this account. So we come back to the header and footers. You can see I now have the header and the footer, and this will be displayed on each and every page. So we have from the account admin, we can go ahead and we can set up the defaults. We can also change them for each and every report. So let's just go ahead and change this to, say, just a different color. If we wanted a little lighter blue, you can see it just automatically updates. Now this is going to take you guys just a tad bit of time to get it, because you'll see as you go through here, you want to keep it a little subdued, because when you generate the reports, you don't want this stuff screaming out at you, and you want it also to be somewhat similar, or at least reflective of your logo. And so once again, what we're doing is we just click on the little box, and it pulls up this little dialog box, this blue dialog box. We can scroll through the horizontal bar and go through all the different colors, and then within the colors, we can just pick the color that we want. And it that quickly goes ahead and changes it. The easiest way to get rid of this little drop-down dialog box is just click on the colors. And this is really cool. It allows you to customize it very perfectly and generate awesome reports. As I said, though, unless you're a graphic artist, It's going to take you just a couple minutes to figure out what colors you want, because the colors are, it's, what do I want to say? The colors as we go through can be overwhelming, and so it gets a little bit difficult. So what I like to suggest is, if you just come back and we start off the way I like to do it, just for, you can also type in the word. So I type in white to get rid of the footer color, because for some reason I just don't like the footer color. It's all pretty much your own preference. And it also works better for those of you who have JPEG logos that you want to not show as a cutout. The bottom being white will go ahead and mitigate that instance. So now what we have here is just the top part. The second part of the branding are the column headers and the alternating lines. So if we come back in here, you'll see we have the table header and the alternate row colors. So once again, I can go ahead and I can make them, typically we just want them a little bit darker, and once we do that, they'll go ahead and they'll darken. The table header is this right here, so let's go ahead and usually sometimes what I like to do is just make it a different color so that I can see very clearly what part of the report it is that I'm working with. And so this makes it nice and clear of what we're looking at, but it's not very pleasing. So just as a little point, what I usually find out works best is to pick the color that it is that I'm looking for. So we're at a blue, so I would scroll down and get into the blues. And then here I want a very, very light, so I just go to the top left, and that brings up a very light color. And that's pretty much what I need. And then for the header color, really doesn't matter what it is that you want or what it is you're going to put in, but it's once again, it gives that out there. So the key takeaway here is we just scroll up and down to get in the color that we want, and then we choose one of the lighter shades of that for the alternating rows, and so that the colors match up rather easily. And to get rid of the screen, we can just click on the colors. So you can see here, this has a little too much purple in here. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time going over this, but you can see I have too much purple in there. So if I come into the blues and then get a light highlight, it will be more bluish, and it'll be more reflective of that. So it's just a little graphic art 101. If you want to at any point in time, you can go ahead and you can just reset the colors, and that resets it back to the default, which was from the account settings. So it gives you the ability to play around with it, to make the changes. But unless you go into the account settings here, you can always default back to your original setup. So we've gone over all the different layouts of the cover pages that are available. We've gone through setting up the different colors of the report titles, the headers. Another option that we've added in here is let me see, where is it here? It is, where did I put my, tell you, there's so much to talk about here. I've lost this is the alternate row colors, reset the colors. Well, it must not have been important. All right, so let's go ahead and let us go on a little bit. So we have the, apologies, I lost my place here. All right, so let me go back here. So we've gone ahead and we've edited the page, the cover sheets. We've worked on the colors and we've seen the template options that we can change. So let's go ahead and just come back into another property. I'll go back out here and come into my sample multifamily. Once again, I don't have a deal room set up in this one as well. So let me just come here to the output. Oh yes, I do. Let me check my questions here. I had a couple questions here. One moment.
I've been answering those as we went along.
Oh, okay, Bobby. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we
Also, were you
have
looking for the section pages?
no. What I was looking for was the alternate contact at the bottom of the page. They have we did a really cool layout where we can change the logo facing around and move it, but that is not something I'm able to see right now. So let me we can just let me select one thing here real quick here. Nope. Okay. So let me go ahead. My apologies for that. As I said, we're making so many changes to the program. Even as the resident expert here, I sometimes find it a little difficult to keep up on it. So the next thing I wanted to go over was the final thing was the international settings. Now, for those of you who have been using the investment analysis for a long time, actually, before I do that, excuse me, I want to jump into let me just jump into the lease analysis very quickly, and then again over to the deal room, because these changes are throughout the entire MarketEdge platform. On the lease analysis, what we've done is we've also gone ahead and we've moved some really nice charting and snapshots to the front page of each property that we're working with. These were this is all information that was available to you, a lot of it from the lease data tab, but we've gone ahead and put it here on the front page. We've redesigned the layout and made it just a whole lot cleaner. On the lease data tab now, this information is available here on the front page. It just makes it easier to go through. And for the output, we've gone ahead and we've included the ability to select a number of different layouts for the cover sheets. This was previously only one layout that was available, but we've gone ahead and we've made it basically we've copied over the ones from the investment analysis to the lease analysis, and it has some ability to highlight. So this is something brand new in the lease analysis where we can go ahead and put in some highlights, some titling, and it allows you to just generate a whole lot more front page material for your leases, as opposed to just as it was in the past, being limited to one. And you'll see here that we have the cover page, the title, and a subtitle. If they are available, when we select the different things, they will be dynamic in that they'll move as well for you. And finally, on the deal room, just real quickly, if I can just touch on that, because I know most people that are using the investment analysis, they're tying it in with the deal room, and a lot of you guys are also using the lease analysis. So I just did want to touch on this for a moment or so. The deal room now, we've designed it as well. The top part here is collapsible, so we can just see our deals, or if we want to go ahead and see our client breakdown, our client activity, and our recent activity of the who has logged in into what deal room. This gives you a real nice overview of what's been going on in your deals. We've redesigned this in that we have the deal name with the start date, the end date, some of their pertinent information, and then this edit button here, which allows us to edit the deal room general data information. And we can also upload here at the bottom our PDFs, our confidentiality agreements. And clicking on any one of these deal rooms links brings us into the deal room, where once again it gives us our information at the top that we can collapse, and it has our dashboard, our participants who are in this deal room, the ability to add new participants, and if we want to, we can search by name those participants that are already in the deal room and automatically add them, or we can enter the information in there. And we also have the ability for those of you who have the CRM to import or to choose to select contacts from the CRM. So we can search our contacts from within the CRM and then bring them directly in from your CRM into the deal room. So those are two powerful things on the participants. And then finally, you should all be familiar with the documents, where we can go ahead and we can just upload the documents and then go ahead and set their requirements for what it is that we're. I'm sorry, not the requirements. Let me see, exit full screen. Let me get out of here. Set the requirements for if they require a sign off, or if we want to edit it to go ahead and set their security levels. And so just a very quick overview of the documents, the participants, and the dashboard on the homepage of the deal room. So we have, I'm sure we'll be having some webinars on the deal room going forward, but I did just want to touch on that very briefly. So if we come back in here into this multifamily now, we have, you can see we have this deal room link right here. So if I wanted to go directly to this deal room, we no longer have to go to the deal room and then find it. This will bring us right to it. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the, what was I going to do? Take a look here at our account settings. Oh, one last thing before I do that, guys. Let me go back here to the sample multifamily. We had seen these icons at the bottom. We have the MarketEdge icon. Let me click on that for you. This is our redesigned MarketEdge page. We now have just the, we no longer have the Flash MarketEdge. We have from the MarketEdge the one HTML MarketEdge, which is available. And this is the screen, the remade screen of the MarketEdge creation. And let me go ahead and create my MarketEdge and take a look. You'll see that this is it's just so much more awesome. It's a lot cleaner. It is a lot quicker, and it's just more responsive. So we have that on there as well. So that is just the MarketEdge. Let me go ahead and go back on here. And I like this full screen, but every time I want to get off, I got to go back from a full screen. So let's close out of there. And the final thing before we go into the international settings was just the one I forgot. I'm sorry, guys. The dashboard, which has also been redesigned. We still do not have this available for export. For those of you who keep asking me for that, let me see, where's the contact us. Let me see, which one is this here? No, that's not the one I want. For those of you that keep asking me for this, there is a place, and I'll show you, to send the feedback, but this is just for your eyes only, giving an overview, a synopsis of the building. This has all been redesigned, so it has a lot nicer charting and graphing, giving you the different parameters and different metrics of the building. We do not have this available yet still. It's for those of you who've been asking me for a couple of years, this has not been put in. What we need is, I need more of you guys to send us in feature requests requesting that. So this is, once again, for your eyes only. It's been redesigned and looks just 10 times better, but it still is not available on the output in the reports. So that's something I'm hoping we will get possibly with the next upgrade or update. So we're coming to the services, the international settings that is found under the My Account Settings, Change Password, International Settings. And just to reiterate, I can come ahead and I can change these colors to anything I want and any analysis I want, and at any time I can reset my colors and go back to, once again, to get rid of this little box here, the easiest way, we just click on colors again. It will revert back to those colors and that branding that is set up here in the company setup. And only the admin for that company will have that. So you can go ahead and you can play with the individual colors and just always revert back to here. So let's go ahead and come back to the international settings. We've made huge progress in strides going on our international settings in order to generate a report. And there's a couple different ways that it works. For those of you who have been with us for a while, you know that we've always had the ability to just generate the reports in the foreign language. So for instance, here we've got the investment details. So everything here is going to be now in Spanish. What we've added now, in addition to that, is we've gone ahead, and once again, coming back up here to my international settings, an auto exchange where it will change it into, it will not only change the dollar amounts, it will not only present it in Spanish, but it'll change the dollars to the pesos. And we have the ability to do it for this session, this analysis, or my account. So let's just go ahead and save it at this analysis. And so now what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've not only created a Spanish report, and everything should be here in Spanish, of course, except for the whatever it is that we typed in. So if we come to the the property description, if we put it in English, it's going to be in English. We'd have to type it in Spanish. But all of our reports, all of our, well, all of them except for, I guess, after this, after tax, will be in Spanish. And it is auto-converted. So we have 27 million here instead of the, it was like 2.5 million. In addition, when we change it to Spanish, it changes all of the the interface to Spanish as well. So this is what's brand new. So whereas before it was just a simple conversion of English into Spanish, the terms, and showing it in different dollars, we now have the auto conversion where we can go from dollars to the currency that we've selected. The interface has now also been put into the language that we have chosen. There is one thing though that they have not yet updated, and I just want to bring this to your attention, and is the rentable, the square meters. They still, for whatever reason, they haven't calculated out or figured out how to deal with the square foot and the square meter. So that will be, for the short term, an issue that you would want to be aware of, and you would see that when you went ahead and generated a report, it would just pop out at you. But with that, now you're able to, generate reports in the language. They can be auto converted to them, and you can also go ahead and add the data. So you can not only convert it from English into the language, you can also just go ahead and from the very beginning put it in that language. And once again, all that is found from the international settings. We have, about a half a dozen different languages. We're pretty much complete on the Spanish, the German, and the Korean. If any of you out there are native speakers or wanted to lend your expertise to this, it's amazing. It's quite difficult in translating because not only do you need the native language, Many of these terms are very specific to real estate and incredibly specific to financial analysis. And in addition to that, we have the depreciation that can be chosen as well. And this is really cool also specifically because, well, for most of the European countries, they're all in the euros, which, so we have here the German. Once again, what I've named the property is not going to be translated, but everything else will be. So let me just briefly review what we've done here, and let me check over my notes. So we've gone over the international settings, and I'll just generate a report while I'm talking. We've gone over the international settings. We've seen how we can create a report in a number of different languages. We can go ahead, in addition to that, we can select and to convert them. The auto exchange, we can select the different measurements. We're still, once again, the conversion of the square meters to the square feet is still something that has not been finalized yet. We have gone ahead and let me get rid of this. Let me put it back because it's kind of hard for me to read it in. So let's see if this has changed. There we go. So we got the dashboard. And yeah, you'll see there. So I put it back into English, but as you can see, I've left it into the German currency, which is the euro. So it just gives, it's incredibly dynamic, and you can use it a number of different ways. So we've gone over the international settings. We have seen the different, I'm sorry, let me go back here to the cover sheet. The addition of about a dozen different templates to be used for the cover sheet. In addition, we have some that are just generic, like here, which just gives, they call it a cityscape. And oh, I know the one last one that I was thinking about, and Bobby, you had mentioned it to me, and I did not do it at the time. So let me get in here. The one final thing we have here is on the section titles. When you add a section page, you know, we can pull up the section page, we can click on it, and we can edit the page. So let me go ahead and do that to one that I have here. We can edit the page, and what we have here on the section title is we can go ahead and we can just have no graphic, and it will change all of them to here. We have the financials. That's what I've typed in. So if I wanted to change that to any name, it will change the name of the section. So we have any name. We have the ability as well to go ahead and choose one of two different sections, just generic section plates, or we can go ahead and we can upload a page that we want for that. So let's go ahead and take, let me see if I have some photos here. We're in a multifamily. So let me take, see if I have some stock photos here. No, that's not going to work. Let me take, yeah, I'll take this one. So we can upload it, and now all the section pages in here will display this section. So I've got my cover sheet that, for instance, say if I wanted just that one page, let me go back to that full page photo with, go ahead and just put that in for the cover page. So now we've got a full page photo with the title. We got the investment details. We can go ahead and we can change the, we can change the colors, and our property, our title pages now have a custom title page, and it's showing the information here, section 1 property. So that pretty much covers all of the new changes that have been instituted into the MarketEdge, including the deal room and the lease analysis. So let me go ahead and take here, see if we have any questions. Okay. I had a question here on, is there any way to stop the output from rendering automatically? The on a PC here, it will render automatically with the changes that we have, but a PDF should not be made until we go to publish and we go to preview save. So all of the pages are dynamic. So let me click on here. Clicking on any of these tabs will get rid of them. So if you notice here, if we click on, we got to click on it again to remove it. Whenever we click on any of these reports, they're rendered within here automatically. They are not generated into a PDF until we click on preview save. And I had actually just one other thing I wanted to show. For those of you who, this logo, the last thing I want to show is this logo being a PDF, or I'm sorry, a JPEG logo. The logos will look different. The JPEG logo has its own background. So if I were to upload a different logo, let me see if I have a logo here, a PNG logo. So we can see here we have a new logo. And so if you guys have a PNG logos that are specifically PNG, those will work, assuming that my report renders here. Yeah, so you'll see now that with the PNG, it doesn't have the background. So what it does is it fits right into the, you can see here, it fits right in. It doesn't have the cutout like the JPEGs do. And so once again, you know, if you have a PNG logo that has a transparency, it will go ahead and it will blend right into the bottom section, and it just makes it a lot cooler, a lot more awesome looking graphics. As I said, you can, if you don't have that and you wanted not to have that box, you can just go ahead and on the footer, change it to white. And then what that does is that just goes ahead and it takes off the footer so that the logo just appears all by itself. All right, so that that covers everything that I did want to go over today. I'm going to take just a moment to take a look at the questions. If anyone had any questions now, I would love to hear them.
And back to that last question, they actually do technically render as PDF documents. Each of these can actually be right-clicked on as saved as a single-page document now. There isn't a way to actually make any changes to that. That's how the system itself works. It dynamically generates single-page PDF documents each time you make a change. So, I mean, if you are having any issues that are caused by that, definitely reach out to us. But I mean, in my experience so far, at least, it's been reasonably quick and actually a little bit quicker than it was in the past prior to us switching over to ASP-generated PDF documents.
Excellent. Thank you, Bobby. So we have Melissa, Jim, Darren, Dave, David, lots of you guys up here. Actually, and I'll tell you what, while we're doing this, where is my thing here? Come back to our home page. This right here is where, if you guys are interested or need, you know, things added on here, like the ability to print out the dashboard, the ability to, you know, do this or that, or your reports need to be this, or I want better flyers. You're welcome to call us up and to tell us, and we pass it on. You know, Bobby can verify this as much as anyone. but the people that be they track things and they track them. This is one of the specific ways that they do that. So all of this goes through an automated tracking progress, and my bosses and my boss's eyes are shown this. So I'd be more than happy to take your requests. You guys can call me up. I love talking about the products. But in order to drive the people that make the decisions on the feature requests, or if you have any type of requests or complaints or points, we're going through a lot of changes now. There's a lot of things we're expanding, and we're making the whole entire platform, just more and more incredible. And we're going through some growing pains right now. We appreciate your patience, but that doesn't mean you can't reach out to us and let us know of where we're falling down or how we're doing well, or let us know what it is you want us to add or what you don't like that we've taken away. Because at the end, the purpose of all of this is to help you guys move more product. So always appreciative of your feedback. So I believe that everything is pretty much, we've answered all of our questions. We've done everything. I want to thank you guys for your time and your interest and your questions. And I really enjoyed presenting today. Thank you very much, and have a great day.